Hello. So this is going to be a recording of my audio while I commentate on this daily practice. But I got a new microphone and I'm hoping that it works well. And if it doesn't, then I hope it's at least a bit better than without having a mic. So I decided to practice with my shapes again because I realized that while making this that my shapes, basics, and fundamentals were really lacking. I didn't know what to do, and I had a lot of problems with this cylinder, and I had a lot of problems with it in the past. But I'm not going to cower away from it or get upset at it anymore. I'm just going to always practice the fundamentals and draw something that I like, or draw something that I see, like a car, trees, or anything outside or anything around me. And I'm really happy that in one of the videos that a couple of people gave me some tips, and I will be using those tips very hard. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but I will try my best to use those tips because I'm very happy to have gotten them, and I am surprised that we do go through fundamentals a lot of the times, because I had some level of fundamentals even if it was a bit sloppy, but now with this one I felt even more awkward when I returned back to my fundamentals, especially with the shapes, like 2D shapes or 3D shapes. And this video and practice was all about 3D shapes. But I did really enjoy the challenge as much as I hate it. I think recording myself doing this and seeing it on screen while I commentate to post recording, it helps me not get too upset about it. Oh yeah, I forgot, I think I shook it a bit while trying to record with the microphone while recording, but as you can see that it kind of failed as I muted the audio. With this one, the front-facing cube, I noticed that it was looking like a trapezoid instead, with the way that it sort of just made its shapes go to the side backwards like that. And I don't really have much else to say aside from cubes being the most simple one for me to get into and still having to practice with, and that I have a lot of problems with pyramids and especially cylinders. You'll see the pyramid and cylinders soon enough. But for here, I go with one of the eye views that I've learned from high school, which is, I think, room eye view, where it's at a straight line instead of looking down like a bird in the air or looking up at the sky like a worm. And I tried to practice some shading as well on top of it with this one by adding some darker spots near the end of the room and shading it lighter when I got to the outside of the cube, except for this square. The square in the middle is just plain dark to try and be a shadow, but I did like it. My cylinder, I think, should be coming up next after this, and yeah, there's the shaded room, which is actually something that I'm kind of proud of, and I trace over the guideline again to try and remember it. I might be going overzealous with the guidelines, because I'll go back to the cubes and add in another line vertically. And then we got the cylinder where I am trying to put some of my high school and middle school knowledge, but I can't remember them well. And I ended up not making a great cylinder, as you can see with the end there. I tried to do the shading thing with the cylinder, but I wasn't that happy about it. But it was at least an attempt that I did get some experience while I am watching this. I had some trouble moving around my hand to try and shade it though, so it kind of moved a lot. And then with the guidelines for the cylinder, this was really tough, because I treated it like it's a sausage, or if it's a popsicle. So I just treat the holes as if they were like circles, as you'll see with this part. Oh wait, no, I'm just still doing the other hole at the end there. And now it should be the guideline, yeah. So I start from the top, and you can see how I sort of treat it like that, because cylinders are basically holes, and well, or these cylinders have holes, and then I just did it like that. If I did it more, if it's like flat, then it would probably make more sense, except I made it a hole and I shaded it in, so it's kind of more awkward. Really, that's how I feel with it. And then I added in another guideline to thinking that that's what I needed to do, and I ended up confusing myself more, and I don't know what I'm looking at again. But it looks like a funny barrel, which is kind of cool. And then here's a pyramid, I think, right? With the pyramid, I'm really confused about it, so I'm going to have to learn a lot more about it. I'm going to have to take notes. I'm still filling out my notes for the art book, which I'm really happy about. With this one, I am still confused about it, but it is somewhere. It looks like it's tilted up, or if I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view, which is really weird. I tried to shade with this one too, and then I ended up using the top. So it looks like basically I'm looking at something from the top from behind it, which is kind of cool. I actually really like it. It's like an arrow, but I'm looking from above and behind by an extent. And that should be it, I think, right? Oops. And here I think I go to draw a still life for fun, right? Right? Yep, there you go. For this one, I tried to just draw a spoon, and I ended up drawing a spoon 3 times. I know that a spoon might be too basic, but I tried to do 3 different variants. One is loose guidelines, where I just start with a circle and then draw on top of it. And one thing I noticed a lot is that I tend to just like take a lot of repeat lines like that there, and you can also see it in the earlier in the video and probably other early videos too. And with this, I noticed that I drew it at an off angle, so it looks kind of like a ladle or a wonky spoon instead. I could probably try and draw that like a ladle now, but it might be fun. But I point an arrow at it, and then I'll write down angle as a problem with it, because the spoon is bent and it's doing that. And then the other ones, I use more guidelines and basic shapes. I know that it uses basic 2D instead of the 3D that I was practicing with earlier in the video. but I do really like it. And I kind of was reminded about how I used to try and draw people as stiff as they were. It probably helped me get a good grip on centering the circle, I don't know. But it's really helpful. And then I use the trapezoid down there, and I use a weird triangle thing. Or, oh no, I use an oval. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to really say. Hopefully I don't mess up this microphone too much, I'm sorry. But this was really fun, and I guess I'll just stop talking now since I don't know what else to do for this. But please enjoy the rest of this video about my progress.